the military. And so what was that experience like for you, Janice, like transitioning from, Juilliard into the Army?
Oh, total culture shock. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, on one hand, so and the way that I found out about the whole program, by the way, is right
Mhm.
around the corner in New York, in Juilliard. They have a recruitment center for the Army, and I was stewing over what am I going to do. I've got these student loans I've got to pay back, and I was on my final year in masters, and I knew so many people who just were burdened by these student loans and couldn't actually do work that they were capable of because they're just running around doing gigs just to pay off loans. And I just really wanted to have freedom from that. And I saw this sign that said Student Loan Repayment Program, inquire within. And then I looked up and it said the U.S. Army Recruitment Center. And I just thought, there's no, that's funny. And then I walked about the block down and I thought, well, that's not being very open to the universe, Janice. So I went back and asked the guy, the recruitment officer, do you have any violins in the Army? And he was like, oh, I don't think so, but let me go check. So he comes back and he's like, not only do we have violins, but there's a job opening and they have an audition next week. So if you can get your, promo in there and they accept you, they'll fly you down to the audition. So they did. And I got the job. And then I was like, now what? It was October actually when this all happened. So I was going to finish up in June. So I I knew nobody who had been in the military. I mean, it was just completely left field. So I didn't know what to do. And I was studying with a wonderful teacher at the time, Dorothy DeLay. And she said, honey, I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You can come here and take lessons. And because I'd be stationed in Washington, D.C. And, you can certainly have a career not being in New York City. So I had from October until June to get ready. And at the time, I literally couldn't do any push-ups and I was incredibly weak. And so I had grown up like where my violin teacher told me, do not do push-ups. It's bad for a violinist. So I was very weak. And then because of tendonitis, I started getting much more interested in physical health. And I started taking dance classes. I took Alexander Technique and Feldenkrais. And I started to become much more interested and more educated about how my body actually worked. And so I became very, very interested in strengthening. So from October until June, I sort of trained myself. And I was watching movies like Full Metal Jacket and Apocalypse Now and getting myself freaked out about these drill instructors. So in the morning, I'd have somebody in my head saying, Martin, get that going. And so I really trained hard. And I ended up getting to being, when I got there, I was the fastest runner in the company. And I almost could do the most push-ups and sit-ups. So after being at Juilliard in a place where I don't know, you spend so many hours a day in a practice room looking at the four walls. And here I was out and they had adventures for us every day. We had to throw live hand grenades and went to a gas chamber and we did what bivouac, which is basically camping for soldiers where I kind of got into it because it was so different from what my life was like. And